Hi, welcome to this video. On October 8th, 2018 at 8:46 p.m. Pacific time, there will be a new moon in Libra at 15 degrees, 48 minutes of Libra to be exact. So this new moon is extremely closely in conjunct Neptune right now. Neptune is retrograde at 14 degrees, 16 minutes of Libra. And this is helping us to really be into the mystery and mysticism, the sense of life that is much more whimsical, dreamy, mystical kind of feel. You'll be more tapped into that kind of energy right now. And this would be an amazing time to start a very strong spiritual practice. And in doing so, you will be able to shed light on the subconscious desires and subconscious feelings that are going on within you, so that you can move forward in the direction you would like to go on your spiritual path, especially. And Mercury is at 28 degrees of Libra, and it is in conjunct Chiron, which just moved back into Pisces on September 25th and is retrograde there. So we can start a very strong healing practice in our day-to-day life. We can be uncovering the depths of emotion and wounds within ourselves, as well as collective wounds that need to be healed. And all of the wounds associated with Chiron and Pisces can be felt at a very collective level, because the experiences that you've experienced have also happened on a collective level, generally speaking, when it comes to Chiron and Pisces. So as you heal those wounds within yourself, you're actually able to help transform the collective healing, or that collective sense of that wound, the wound that needs to be healed. And in doing so, you will be able to look more deeply into your own subconscious shadows and become aware of the subconscious desires and fears and things that just need to be looked at to be transformed, so that healing can take place on the individual as well as collective level. And these healings may also be done with someone in a one-on-one situation. So talking to someone one-on-one can be extremely productive in helping to reveal those wounds as well as transform them and allow for that deep healing to take place. And if they are very, very intense, then of course you should always seek the help of a professional to talk and release these things, because that can be extremely productive right now. And then Venus goes retrograde on October 5th in Scorpio at 10 degrees, 50 minutes of Scorpio. And Venus is also square Mars in Aquarius right now. So with Venus moving retrograde into Scorpio, this is helping us to uncover what is going on under the surface within our relationships, as well as from a societal perspective, because Mars in Aquarius is very much to do with society, but also being independent and interdependent in society, wanting to be free and sovereign within itself. It is creating a bit of disharmony in our social situations right now, because Venus is having us look at the values, what it is we value, the shadow side of our values, the shadow side of our relationships, And so right now we are deeply uncovering what's really going on under the surface socially as well as within our relationships. And also when it comes to money. And this may not be the best time for borrowing money. And you may not have access to others' resources as much as you normally would, or maybe as much as, you normally would with Venus in Scorpio, because it is retrograde. And with this square to Mars in Aquarius, this is a sign that this is a time to be more independent and to make change in your life. Like, this is a time of rebellion, revolution, and social change. And then not only that, but this new moon is square Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto just went direct on September 30th. So all of these underlying difficulties with authority figures that has been just held back, this sense of frustration with the powers that be, is really gonna start coming out and being expressed more externally now. And this may be a time where the societal shifts are going to be kind of noticed more, out in public right now. It's very likely that could occur because Uranus is also going to be moving retrograde back into Aries on November 6th. And with Uranus retrograding, and the thing is too, Venus is going to be retrograding back into Libra. So the Venus opposing Uranus is going to be occurring in both the signs of Scorpio and Taurus, as well as Libra and Aries. So that sense of just that desire for independence, for freedom, for the sense that we are sovereign people in this world, that we have some sort of say in our own sense of freedom, independence, and sovereignty, that whole feeling is going to be coming out again, very much like the Uranus-Pluto square that has been happening for a long time, and it is no longer happening. But that kind of essence of a desire for change, for things to need to shift when it comes to the structures and systems that are in place, things that need to be let go of and transformed to allow for the individual to be as powerful as the person in power, an equal exchange of power, resources, and not so much I'm not even talking about that necessarily communism, but I didn't even mean to say that. But at the same time, maybe there's a reason I said that, because Uranus is in Taurus. And I mean, I don't know, there's always this side of me that thinks there needs to be a little bit of socialism. In any society, socialism isn't all bad. There needs to be a certain amount. But there needs to be that desire to work for something and to gain more status, power, whatever it is. That's the Pluto side, in Pluto and Capricorn side of things. There's this, we can't let things get stagnant. That's the thing that I think a lot of people are afraid of. With communism or socialism, people are afraid that people are just going to freeload off the system. But in a society where we are seriously just fending for ourselves and letting people fall by the wayside and not allowing for healthcare to be more, all-encompassing and helpful for everyone. And, I also heard some crazy stuff recently about retirement not being, or something like Social Security, or something around people who are older not getting the money they need after they retire, something around that. And I was just shocked, literally shocked when I heard that. And that is extremely upsetting to me, to be honest. But I didn't even mean to go down this route. But basically, we can't allow these things to happen. We can't just let the people who need help suffer. Okay? This isn't right. you know? And that's where this whole maybe Uranus opposite Venus is going to come in. And there's going to be that sense of we need to distribute the resources intelligently and for the benefit of all, because education is suffering, our healthcare system is out of whack, and if we're not taking care of our elderly, what kind of society is this? You know? And yes, we need that ability to work for ourselves, grow, climb the, ladders of success, whatever. We need that ability to, like, that incentive to work for something, because without that incentive, then things may suffer from that direction as well. So it needs to be a balance between finding our, we need that societal, net to catch those who can't take care of themselves. And then, of course, the main issue right now is that people are doing things solely for the purpose of making money. And therefore, there is a lack of integrity in the work that is being done. And I think that's another issue that's being brought up, especially with Venus retrograding and Scorpio opposing Uranus and Taurus, is that there is this, lack of integrity, basically. I don't know how to describe it fully, like a lack of giving a shit about the work you do, because you're just doing it for a paycheck. And that also creates a lot of problems in our society. So there's that as well. Like, if we were doing things because we wanted to, because we felt like that was what we were called to do, if we were doing things based on what our actual purpose was, and look at what ancient people have done. I mean, yes, some of it was not done in the best of ways, like slavery and all that stuff, but look at the quality of work in the buildings that were created. For instance, look at the quality of work that was put into these, things that we take for granted now. We do not put the quality of work into buildings anymore. We do not do things solely for the purpose of that fulfillment we feel when doing something like amazing, just to do something amazing. And many of the amazing things that have been created in the world today are because of people who were inspired to do those things. And I think that this Uranus and Taurus is helping us to understand that, dude, we need to be inspired. When we are putting work into the world, when we're putting, our all into something, that's when things get better. That's when the real things happen. So don't just do things because it gives you a paycheck. Do things because you want to be proud of the work that you're doing. You want to be feeling that sense of pride. And then, the other thing is Saturn is in conjunct the North Node in Leo. And this also reminds me of that, we have long-term goals that we're working towards, and we can create new structures that helps us to be more expressive and creative in the goals and the work that we're doing. And it's all about finding that passion and that joy within the work that you do. And then let's see what else is going on here. Jupiter is also trining Chiron in Pisces within 6 degrees, and it's going to eventually get closer and closer as Jupiter moves forward and Chiron moves backward. So right now, the healing that is taking place can allow us to expand emotionally and to expand beyond the unconscious or subconscious blockages that we have. Because with Scorpio, sometimes whatever is in our subconscious mind can make or break us. And with Jupiter being in Scorpio, Jupiter, the planet of beliefs, is helping us to become aware of those subconscious things in our minds and to allow for the collective wounds to heal right now, especially with Chiron moving in, backwards in Pisces. This is allowing us to uncover the fears and the wounds, or the wounds and then the fears that get created because of the wounds. Because ultimately, all of us have experienced trauma on some level or another. And so looking at that trauma and healing that trauma is going to allow us to expand our minds, our subconscious minds, and expand beyond the limiting beliefs that we might have. So yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I appreciate it very much. Have an awesome time.